How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the What's Up Eddie channel, Divine Therapy Sessions, and of course, I'm the one and only Eddie. So glad to have you guys back, and these are my Divine Therapy Sessions. Hey guys, just wanted to do some channeling, some stuff that came up for me, and just spread the good word, man. That's it. Yeah, guys, something that came up for me this morning was pride and ego. Yeah, they always, what do they say? Ego is not your amigo. I noticed whenever I am running off of ego and pride, because you guys, we all do. I don't care what stage of enlightenment you think you're in, or when I think that I'm in some stage of enlightenment. We have dark days, right? We have our shadow days. I don't pretend to be perfect. I'm not. Far from it. All I've done is embrace who I am, both the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the great. And now I'm teaching others. I'm teaching people from my truth, right? And so when I do that, it frees my soul, and it helps me to transition into that higher state of vibration. And then I get to open other people's hearts, because you got to remember, guys, it's like there's obviously a reason why we're here. And I think the reason why I say this is I know in when I had to do the work, and I'm still doing the work. It's a continued process of doing work, because I'm not perfect. My behavior is not perfect. I find when I'm in my ego, I'm cut off from God. I'm cut off from the Spirit, right? I say this because this morning I was being stubborn, and I was in my ego, and I decided to stop doing the behavior that I was doing, and then I humbled myself, I apologized, and changed my behavior. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because I know people out there. It's strange. When you're in the process of healing others, it's a strange process to be in, because I think a lot of the times people get this notion that, oh, who is this person on their high horse giving me information? That guy was a drug addict before. Look at his teeth. He's a pill popper before. He's this or he's that. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect, you guys. And any healer out there will tell you, if you are a wounded warrior, if you're a healer, if anyone is out there like me sending the word, we went through a lot to get here, and some of that stuff was self-inflicted, self-imposed. So I'm just saying that I'm not perfect whatsoever, still not, and I may never be until I leave. I don't know. But I'm saying is, it's when I'm working with people, it shows up differently for everyone. But some of the two things that keep coming up is, people want to give you advice on what you're teaching. And I always say this, man, there's like half truths to everything. Everything's a half truth at the end of the day, because we're not informed on everything. If we knew everything, we wouldn't be here. We're here to be tested. We're here to learn. We wouldn't be on this journey if we knew everything, right? All I'm trying to do on this channel is to open your mind. Think about things differently from how you thought about them before, because the reason why I think that this shit is so valuable is because when you free your mind in one thing, you'll free your mind in all things. And that stuff is beautiful. I'll get back to that subject, but I just wanted to say, like, I find when I go against what God has told me to do, or if he's told me to act a certain way, right? Eddie, stop being egoic. Stop being in your pride. Drop your pride, drop your ego. You know it always works out better for you when you do that, and you speak from your heart space. And that's a lesson that's been taught to me over and over and over, right? But God's merciful. He's plentiful, right? Like, he's going to keep teaching me the lesson until I can figure it out. And so I'm telling you guys, this is like, if you're out there, ask yourself, what are you being prideful about? What are you holding on to? For me, This is what I say, like, be careful with it, man, because I feel like whenever we have to whenever God gets involved, whenever the universe gets involved, the lesson is always grander and always harsher, because you got to remember this, man. If something like God has to put energy into you, he's going to make sure that lesson is learned, right? So it's going to hurt. It's probably going to hurt a lot. So I always say this, man, take the time out, because I just did it right now, and I started laughing at myself, man. I always have that moment where I look up to the sky and I say, dang. I was like, God, you're so amazing, man. Like, thank you for humbling my ass right now, or allowing me to humble myself before I put my own foot in my mouth. I say this, you guys, just to say that, like, I'm not perfect, man. And if you're out there and you're watching my videos, far from it, man. Far from it. I make mistakes all the time. We all will. It's not about perfection. It's not about being perfect. It's about spreading the medicine out there to a next person, because the next person needs it. And everybody's struggling. Everyone is. Everyone needs help. And it's the crazy thing is, people are going to ask for help, but they'll do it in the shittiest ways, the weirdest ways. They won't ask for help the way that a lot of the times the people who need the most will do it in the weirdest ways. It's just the way it works, man. It's like, I've noticed this in AA. I've noticed this in just regular life, just me helping out the next person, man. Like, coaching another person. They're always, anyone who wants to be accepted are going to isolate. Anyone who doesn't like people being angry with them are usually angry with others. We usually have that feeling, that emotion that we hate in others most in ourselves. And that's why I say, like, one of the things that keep coming up for me is the ego, right? The pride, and a continuation. Whenever I have the most or the best success is when I'm humble and I'm not in pride. I apologize. I own up for my stuff, right? And as a reason why I put that out there is because someone probably needs to hear this. You can allow God to teach you the lesson, but I always say that it's always a lot harsher. So it's a lot less bruises when you take care of it. And then you feel important when you do it too, because you're listening, right? And there's rewards for being humble like that. Also, another thing came up, is I was thinking about God, man. It's like how we often put God in a box, like God, labeling God. And it's like we all have these definitive things that we say about God, and even like my opinions, like in a year or a year and a half, my ideas are going to be more evolutionary from where I'm at today. I'm going to probably change my opinion on some things, right? So this is my truth right now. And that's what's beautiful about this platform. Someone out there right now needs what I'm saying at this moment. And in a year, I will attract a different crowd, or the people that are with me still are going to evolve as well. So they're going to be on the level, right? And they need to hear, because this is what God is giving to me right now, right? That's the process, man. That's the process. And if you're a healer out there, if you're a person, look, man, you don't even have to be a healer. A healer is just a word. If you're someone who helps another person, you may be going through this process. You're okay, man. I know sometimes I get in this perfection mode, and it ain't about perfection. It's about progress. And then, so we put God in a box, right? My God's Christian. My God's Jewish. My God's a Canaanite God. My God's the I don't know, whatever we say about God, right? Are these definitive things that we say about Jesus, these definitive things that we say about people that we have no clue about, right? If you just go off the readings and the readings alone, a lot of it's interpretation anyways. And if you can't take a book that's it's literal and figurative at the end of the day, and it's loaded with information. So if you take those words and make it so definitive, you're already like putting yourself in a situation where it's like you're boxing yourself in. And guys, you're God at the end of the day, man. You're an expression of God. right? So if you put God in a box, you're putting yourself in a box, and most likely you have. That's why I'm saying it's like, open your mind up, man. Like, check it out. In the Bible, what does it say about God? He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and the end. What do you gather from that? He's everything and nothing all at the same time, right? He's infinite. He's the master artist. He's the master creator. He's the master lover. He's the master at all of this, right? There's no doubt that however we're in this place right now, it is a freaking miracle. I always say, man, it's a 450 trillion chance that your ass is here, that I'm here. So it's a miracle already. So I'm all sweating in my car right now. So I'm saying is, it was a 450 trillion chance. Do you realize how astronomical it is that you're here? So I think it was like, I'm just saying, open yourself up to other texts, other ideas of God, because God is, look at us, man. Look at how different we express ourselves, right? That's what I'm saying. Like it's God's infinite. To put God is he's just a Christian God, or it's what we're doing is making war amongst ourselves in the name of God, and it's ridiculous. You guys, that's not what this channel is about, man. This channel is about expanding your ideas, your thought processes. We need to stop going to war with each other. Stop being in competition. The plan, your life plan, my life plan, has already been laid out. No one or anything in this world can stop what God has already divined. If his word has said it, if it's been commanded, it will happen. There's nothing anyone can do about that. That's the thing about this, man. Everyone keeps getting away from one fact. You're not in control. I'm not in control. You guys, most of my content comes from God and the angels. I keep telling people, man. Well, I wasn't thinking about this shit 17 months ago when I was in my drug addiction, my alcoholism. Where did this content come from? It's God. You know what I'm saying, man? So for my enemy out there, man, like, I'm sorry, man. This is what God has intended for my life. This is my life story. You got nothing to do with it. If you're envious, or if you got something going on with you, just ask yourself why you feel that way, right? And that's why that was going to go into my next subject. You feel that way out of lack. You feel that way because it's a mirror. Most healers, and it's like I was preaching to the choir right now, because most healers should know. I think is like when you're in a process of continual work on yourself, which is like the trauma work, the shadow work, a constant place of humbling yourself, a constant place of being authentic. You become a mirror for people, and that mirror could be another way of saying that is you become you become karmic in a physical expression of karmic or karma, and people don't like that. People don't like it because in the first question they start to ask themselves is like, well, they're gonna ask themselves three questions. How is this person doing that? How is he capable of doing it? How did he get out of that? Not knowing what it took to get there. I spent over 2 decades in hell, in effing hell. You don't know the misery that I had in my room. You don't know the misery and the loneliness. You never been to war. You don't know what Afghanistan felt like. You don't know what the mental turmoil felt like afterwards. You don't know about my childhood abuse. You don't know about my lonely despair. You don't know about that because of what happened to me and because I held on to that trauma and that poison, it broke up marriages. It broke up kids. I followed the path of my fathers before me. You don't know about that stuff, but you sit there envious of what's going on in my life. Don't do that. I understand. Look it. When you look at a person and you say, I don't like that about that person, and then try to bring them down or ostracize them, you don't need to do that, man. I've done decades of doing that. And people out there don't need you to do that anyways. Whoever is you, I don't even know. I probably shouldn't even be talking about this. Guys like always telling me, hey, like, don't give people attention, man, because they don't need it. If you're a healer out there, you're going to find that there's always the enemy. There's the op. There's always the op, man. There are going to be people out there that don't like that you're shining mirrors on people because they don't want people to wake up. Even the people out there who are acting, who have embraced this ability that God has presented, which is this awakening, this spirituality. It's a process, man, because we have bad habits, really bad habits. That's the thing. That's why we shouldn't be in competition. We should just help each other. And at the end of the day, this stuff is just a test, and you're going to utopia. You're going to Zion. And what is Zion? It's love, man. It's that eternal love with God. So this stuff doesn't matter. You're only here for a certain amount of time. Why keep acting with envy, with lust, with all this stuff that's going on in this platform? Transcend, ascend from what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to yell, man, but like, hey, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. You know, God's got a plan, and no matter what people do, hocus pocus or whatever mind manipulation or whatever the tactics out there, man. Yeah, like I would just suggest for people out there messing with people on a mission, like especially if God is ordained people to help. I would stay away from hurting people like that, man, because if that's God's people, that's never a good deal, right? It's never a good deal. Yeah, I think that's all I got, you guys. This video turned a little straightforward, I guess. I'm not sure. Hopefully you guys gathered something from this. I made the video for a reason. I just know that for myself, man, I have to continuously humble myself. You know, it takes a lot, and it's rewarding when you don't engage with people. It's hard to keep quiet, especially when you know you're right, whatever the freak that means. But like when you know that someone else has wronged you, and you don't go into the process of having to explain what that person did to you, there's freedom in it. And that freedom only exists when you help yourself. You have to help yourself. All right, guys, that's all I got. I love you guys. Subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Hit that notification bell if you want to get notified every time I upload a video. I love you guys so much. Hey, man, God loves us all. We're all the same. No matter where you're at in this process, all it's going to take is some work. It's going to take dropping and leveling of the pride, and then you can transcend through that, and God will help you, man. God's going to be on your side. He's on all our sides. But if you're doing shit in the cuts, if you're undermining other people, if you are being a person, a two-faced person, a backstabber, whatever you want to call it, you can't prosper, and you're not going to be able to be in the light for long, or you're not going to be able to be in the darkness for long. God will shine that shit out into the light. I always say it. Whatever's in the darkness will come to the light sooner or later. You can't hide forever. I can't hide forever. That's why I couldn't do what I was doing anymore. It was killing me. That's the process. I love you guys. Bye.